Hello, everybody. I apologize for not having uploaded recently. It's been a very busy time. But just today, looked down at my phone, unexpected, I saw there was a new trailer for Shadow of the Erdtree. So I thought, you know what, why not? I've never done one of these. I'll do a reaction video. So the way I'm going to have this work is we'll watch the video in full, just a full watch through, and then I'm going to go back through and I'm going to pause at different bits and give my input. And anything I state here is purely speculation. It's all going to be stupid little connections and stuff. But I just thought it'd be a fun thing to do. So we're going to give this a watch now. If it loads.
Peggy 16.
Mikula the Kind spoke of the beginning. The seduction and the betrayal.
The nose out.
An affair from which gold arose. And so too was Shadow born. What followed was a war unseen. One that could never be put to song. A purge without grace or honor. The tyranny of Mesmer's flame.
Well, you know why you call him Mesmer the Impaler?
And so kindly Mikula would abandon everything. His golden flesh, his blinding strength, even his fate. But we are not deterred. We choose to follow. Will you walk with us?
Wow. We get an after thing sequence? Come on, give us a little something after the title. Wow. That was just insane. See, the amount of things that you notice while you're watching it is crazy, but honestly, just the art direction alone from FromSoft, insane. Right, so what I want to do is I want to just do another rewatch, and rather annoyingly, I'm just going to interject.
Peggy 16.
Mikula the Kind spoke of the beginning.
So, right off the bat, what I can see here is the color that flesh looks. It looks kind of like the same color flesh as the god skins. Remember, this is all speculation. Any potential links I can.
The
Kind of
seduction
reminds me of the serpent's
and the
amniote.
betrayal.
It's probably not, just something a little similar that I'm thinking of. There's a lot of meat everywhere. It's just all made of just
An
guts
affair
and
from which
gore.
gold
Now,
arose.
because of that, see this here. I think this is supposed to be Mikola, but to me, it kind of looks like Godwyn because Mikola's always shown to be like really small. Now, there is the whole thing that Mikola divests their flesh, much like Rani does. So it could be that this is not Mikola's body, or is Mikola's body before they divested their flesh or something. I don't know, but it does very much remind me of Godwyn. I doubt it is him because it's pretty much implied to be Mikola, but just a thought. Now, this shot, this really reminds me of Rykard. I don't know how this would work. I don't know where this is or what the implication for this is. On the edges, you can see all the people reaching out their arms and stuff. It just reminds me of like the insides of Rykard and the Blasphemous Blade. So it might not even have to specifically do with Rykard. It could be more to do with his practice of eating people and gaining their power. There's a big thing in Elden Ring of people's bodies being merged together, giving power. So that could be what's happening here. It could be a collection of bodies built to power something, which it does pretty much look like that.
And so too was Shadow born.
Don't know what the gold strands are, though.
What
That's what was
followed
pulled
was
out
a
of the flesh.
war unseen.
Now these guys are so cool. I love the design for these guys, like huge wicker men kind of basket flaming guys. They're so cool. I believe to something in Berserk, if I'm not mistaken. Just the scope of this.
One
Also not a
that
bad
could
time though.
never be.
See, now what I'm seeing here is you've got the tree or the roots insignia along the front of the helm. Could also be flames, because, Mesmer and flames. But to link to the Erdtree, stuff about the Erdtree's roots, Erdtree branches, it does look a lot like a tree. Another potential link could be Deathblight, which I highly doubt, though, because it doesn't have the thorny appearance of the branches of Deathblight.
Put to song.
Now this, I've been racking my brains about this one when I first saw it, but I swear there is somewhere else in the game where it's depicted with somebody with wires coming out of them. My mind's going to Godwyn, but I don't think it is Godwyn, and I can't for the life of me remember right now what it could be. But they look like a religious person, some kind of monk or priest.
A purge without.
This shot, man. This shot. So obviously, very good view of Mesmer. Obviously shows that he's in control. It does give away what some of Mesmer's powers. If you see those big flaming snakes, Mesmer's known for flaming snakes. But what I'm thinking here is this Leyndell? It looks very much like Leyndell. You can see around the edges, use my mouse, around here with the edges, you very clearly have that it's surrounded by ocean, or has water around it, which Leyndell does. Up here, the ramparts all around it. It's a walled city, which once again Leyndell is. Now, if you can see in some of the cracks and the doorways, they have that arched kind of style, which Leyndell very much does in here, with the circular roofs, recurring motif in Leyndell's architecture. Now, over here in the corner, you can very see that it's tiled roofing. It's overlapping tiles. Now, most of the roofs in Leyndell do this, or they have what almost looks to be like a brick kind of roof, with rather than overlapping tiles, it's just tiles next to each other, golden tiles. But even with the balcony looking things here and the tiles on the roof, this very much resembles Leyndell.
Grace
Where my guess
or
is that this is.
the tyranny of Mesmer's.
This scene I don't have much to say about. See, I want to give. See, this here is reminding me of the fountain in the courtyard before the Crucible Night, I believe, in Leyndell. That's just another thing that would suggest that this is Leyndell. Obviously, long flaming cloak, very thin body, but I think it's a spear they're holding. A really large, like, curved spear. Honestly, I don't know. There is also either a statue or another person here. I don't know whether that's just part of the background or whether that means anything.
Flame.
Okay, this thing. Let me try and get a better look at this. That's a terrible shot. Instantly, omen horns. Big thing to notice. Lion, it's a beast. Instantly makes me think of Sorosh, Beast Region, Beast Men in general. Now, from what I saw, I don't think that this. I think it acts the same kind of way as like a Chinese dragon costume, where you have somebody in controlling the head and stuff. Because I remember either it's got a really weird anatomy, or it had you could see like people beneath it, beneath the heads, like operating it. So that's what it looked like to me. But whether I have this completely wrong or not is very likely. Also, you can see here golden hair. Golden hair is something that is very, very specific in Elden Ring to Marika, Mikkel, and Godwyn. So, unless there's anyone else with golden hair, you can't think of anyone else with golden hair, and that's a very telling thing. So this definitely has some connection to either Mikkel or Godwyn. I can't think of any connections to Marika. But with the omen thing, I'm not sure where that comes from, because I'm pretty sure omens are part of the Crucible. It's an aspect of the Crucible with which life mixes, and it brings out things like the Omen and the Misbegotten. So also blue eyes. I don't know if that suggests anything, but it's very, very distinct blue eyes. And just that shot of Mesmer Man. Once again, I think that is blue eyes. But red hair. Red hair instantly just makes me think of Radagon and Melania. Could potentially be of Radagon. Oh, I think you also have Rykard, Radahn, and Rani also have red hair because of Radagon. But I think whatever it is, if you're going off of parentage, it would most likely have to be a child born from Radagon. I can't really think of anywhere else that you would get red hair from unless it's to do with the giants. The fact that he uses flame, and obviously you got the flame of the Fell God, which the giants use. The giants have red hair. Red hair is very indicative of giants and flame. So it could just be because of the flame. I don't know whether the serpent has anything to do with it. Rykard was associated with the serpent. Rykard had red hair. I don't know whether that could be anything to do with it. Armor is very, very similar to Eleonora, who was a bloody finger. Now, I'm not saying it's the Drake Knight set, isn't it? Now, I think Drakes are supposed to be lesser dragons, not serpents are supposed to be lesser dragons. So you still have that reptilian, you know, reptilian link between them. But it does look very similar. Slice of cheese on that man's nose. And then this scene. So, if you try and look at what actually has been impaled, can I go back? Get a better shot of it. I don't think there's much way of getting a good shot. You can see the horns. A lot of horns in them. So either it's Omen, or it's the Omen lions. Considering the long, the cloth, I'd say. Yeah, in terms of who he could have speared, Omen. I think that's the reason that they're shown so prevalently, because he has. I mean, you remember his line, "Mother, wouldst thou lordship sanction in one truly so bereft of light?" It's a terrible impression. But obviously, lordship sanction, Morgott was given lordship, despite the fact that he is bereft of light. And he's an omen. You know, he wasn't born with the grace of the Erdtree. So I think that's what Mesmer is talking about. I don't think Mesmer likes omens at all. Mainly due to the fact that he's impaling them. And whether it's a personal thing or not, I have no idea. If it plays? Such a cool shot. Now this, the fact that it's all crumbling and going upwards, obviously reminds me of Farum Azula. But there was a screenshot of a place with a bunch of towers and stuff that looked a bit like this, that had all of the chunks of architecture floating up into the sky. There's the Erdtree, not as we know it. If it even is the Erdtree, to be honest.
And so kindly Miquella would abandon everything.
Now, I think this is very obviously Miquella's Great Rune. It looks way too similar not to be. In terms of the location, kind of reminded me of Weeping Peninsula. You have the big mountain up on the left. It slopes out down the bottom and then curves up right in the end. You see between the ruins and the mountain, it curves upwards again, which is where you get the portal to the Tower of Return, I believe. You have a set of ruins there, which we know there are ruins because you get the Witchbane ruins. On the other side, I'm not sure there's a mountain on the other side that sticks up so vastly, though. That's what's kind of making me think that this is not the Weeping Peninsula. I mean, it's just speculation anyway, but that's very likely Miquella's Great Rune. So it's either a Great Rune split in half, it's a Great Rune shattered. This is
His
probably
golden
Miquella.
flesh.
And the fact
His
that that's...
blinding strength.
Excuse me. I'm talking. I
Even
didn't want to get onto this yet. Shut up. So, the golden thing that was going upwards, it could be him planting that sign, which I think is his Great Rune. Or it could be something else. I mean, walking away now. This shot, as soon as I saw this, that's Saint Trina. And it's talking about Miquella leaving his flesh and his fate. So, I mean, that's got to be Saint Trina. You've got the nascent butterfly-like dress. You got the purple. Anything purple in Elden Ring is very likely Saint Trina related.
his fate. But we are not deterred.
Armor looks so cool. All the armors look amazing. This is what I was meaning. This looks like the place where the architecture is floating off into the sky. Huge chunks of rock are just being suspended like Farum Azula. Potentially, and we've seen this from Bestial Sanctum, it's very likely that at one point Crumbling Farum Azula wasn't in the sky. Huge shocker. But it was probably a part of Caelid at some point, potentially. I mean, all its debris is strewn all over the lands between, so it could just be that it went up and was physically moved. That's why chunks have fallen almost everywhere. I don't know. That's just what I'm thinking from that texture. Although, looking at it, it does have a Halig tree kind of, because it has the built-up layers. You've got wall upon wall upon wall, large turrets, huge arches. Remind me of Elfvale. I'm trying to think of any other places that resemble it structurally, but none are coming to mind.
We choose to follow.
Such a dope shot. So you can obviously see that the area is very cliff-based. There's a lot of varying levels of topography using the big fancy word. Now, this is a while away from the Erdtree. So you think if you try and place this within the world, when you enter, you see the shot of the Tarnished riding on the horse. The Erdtree is directly in front of you off to the distance, meaning that this... I don't know, because the Erdtree is always shown... I'm trying to think what angle this is. I think this is west of the Erdtree, potentially. Somewhere in between southwest of the Erdtree, if you consider the branch being shown to the left to be looking at it from the south. That's where I think this is. This guy. Saw this, my first thought was new Havel armor. We got Tragoth, but I like that armor. It's alright. It serves its... This, I like the look of so much more, the big green golem-looking armor. Now, these are very likely NPCs that you will meet on the quest. Because when they give people such unique armors, and even their own weapons, you can't just have these be random people you find about. These characters have to have significant purpose, whether you physically meet them or find them. So I think these are going to be NPCs, which makes me think I'm going to have to kill that green guy for his armor. And I'm quite attached to the green guy. I quite like him.
Will you walk with us?
And that's all I have to say. Those are my initial responses for Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. I can't wait for this thing to be out. It honestly just looks so good. love this. So, those are my thoughts, just random scattered ideas. Thank you for watching, and I'll try and upload a bit more frequently now that I'm not as busy. I'll see you all